Science is like magic in real life. But if you live in a fantasy world where magic is real, what are all those scientists doing? Well, they're still there and they're pissed. An alchemist is a scientist who uses chemicals to produce fantastical but non-magical effects. Their key attribute is intelligence, and they use medium armor and alchemical bombs. While a wizard might wake up and prepare a spell like lightning bolt, which they can then cast and use up throughout the day, an alchemist would wake up and craft an item like bottled lightning, which they could then throw and use up throughout the day. But if the two are so similar in practice, then what is the point of an alchemist? The main benefit is that alchemical items really are items, not just magic spells that seem like items. So anything immune to magic or hating magic or using weird magic rules is unaffected by them. They also have the benefits of any other item. If you come across a giant pile of greater acid flasks, you could use those acid flasks. You could also distribute your alchemical items to other characters. If your friend is dying and a cleric wants to heal them, the cleric needs to spend their actions to do so, while you could just hand them an elixir of life in advance and let them heal them dang self. Alchemical items usually also grant item bonuses instead of status bonuses. That means these two bonuses can stack. If a spellcaster casts a spell that grants you a bonus to your athletics, you could also drink a bestial mutagen to turn into a weird beast man and gain a bonus to your athletics on top of that bonus. The most normal way an alchemist can use alchemical items is by buying or crafting them. An alchemist automatically starts with the alchemical crafting feat. They also start with a formula book that contains 2 formulas for level 1 alchemical items, as well as 4 formulas from the feat, and 2 bonus formulas from a research field which I'll explain later. Remember, crafting in Pathfinder is based around 2 numbers, a crafting DC and your gold to day ratio. You can get both of these numbers from a table based on the item level of the thing you're trying to craft, your level, and your crafting proficiency, which starts at trained. Then you pay half the price of the item and spend 1 day working on it, and then make your crafting check. If you succeed, you can pay for the rest of the item and get it, or you can reduce the cost by working longer with your gold to day ratio. Most alchemical items are consumable, which means you can craft 4 at a time.
This works for any item you have the formula for, otherwise it takes 2 days instead of 1.
Bombs are martial weapons that are thrown with a range of 20 feet, although you don't add your strength to the damage. Most bombs also deal splash damage, which deals a specified amount of damage to every creature within 5 feet of the target, including the target, on a critical success, or failure. Alchemist's fire deals 1d8 fire damage, 1 persistent fire damage, and 1 splash damage, while bottled lightning deals 1d6 electricity damage, 1 splash damage, and makes the target off guard until its next turn. Frost vials, the target takes a 5-foot speed penalty until its next turn. A glue bomb takes this to the extreme by giving a 10-foot speed penalty for 1 minute, but no damage. Elixirs are just like potions, but non-magical, and can be drunk or fed to a willing target as 1 action. The elixir of life heals 1d6 damage and grants a save bonus. A cheetah's elixir grants a move speed bonus, and antidotes and anti-plagues grant bonuses to avoiding poisoning and disease respectively. Mutagens mutate the consumer in some way, granting extra benefits but also drawbacks. The bestial mutagen turns you into a strange muscular beast with a bonus to athletics and an extra claw and jaw attack for 1 minute. However, you become slower with a penalty to reflex, acrobatics, and stealth. The cognitive mutagen makes the world blurry but your mind clear, granting you a bonus to arcana, crafting, lore, occultism, and society, and making you better at recalled knowledge, but gives you a penalty to attacking, carrying capacity, athletics, and acrobatics. Poisons come in 4 varieties themselves. A contact poison is applied to an object so that it poisons the target when they touch it. It is specifically not able to affect a weapon. Ingesting is for poisoning food or drink when the target eats it, such as arsenic, which deals damage and sickens the target. Inhalation poisons create a 10-foot cube of gas which affects any breathing creature who goes through it. And injury poisons are for applying to weapons, which poison the target on a successful strike, but then uses up the poison. That includes giant centipede venom, which deals damage and causes fatigue. Finally, alchemical tools are a catch-all. For example, you can create ghost ink, which becomes invisible unless it's applied to heat for secret messages, or a smoke ball, which creates a 5-foot burst of smoke that conceals targets. These are just a few of the level 1 items. There are also higher level versions of items which don't require any additional formulas, but alchemists have even more reliable methods to create alchemical items as well. Every morning an alchemist can instantly create a number of alchemical items equal to 4 plus their intelligence. These alchemical items must be consumable in your formula book, and they only last 1 day. That means you might as well use them on your adventure since they'll disintegrate anyway, and the next morning you can create even more. Not only that, alchemists also get a number of items called versatile vials, equal to 2 plus their intelligence. You can never have more than this number of versatile vials, but they regenerate at a rate of 2 vials per 10 minutes outside of combat, so you never really have to worry about running out. You can spend an action to turn these vials into any alchemical item you have in your formula book, so it's not as action efficient to just have the alchemical item in the first place. However, you can also just throw the versatile vial vial like a bomb as it is. It does 1d6 acid damage with 1 splash damage, so it's not as good as the other alchemical items, but you never need to worry about running out. But if you're still worried about running out, you can regenerate versatile vials in combat as an action, but you can only use it as it is, and it disintegrates at the end of your current turn, so you have to use it right away. As an alchemist, you're particularly primed to use your research field, which you choose at level 1 alongside a class feat. A class feat is how I got this little cute alchemical familiar. Your choices for the research field line up to 4 of the types of alchemical items. Bombers gain 2 extra common formulas for bombs and can choose to reduce the splash area of a bomb to only their target, if the target is surrounded by allies, for example. Bombers can use their versatile vials to do acid damage as normal, or cold, electricity, or fire damage as they choose. Chirurgeon gain 2 extra formula for elixirs and can use their crafting proficiency and modifier for medicine checks. Their versatile vials can also be used to heal allies, even by throwing them at a willing target for 1d6 HP per target per 10 minutes. Mutagenists gain 2 extra formulas for mutagens and gain a number of temporary hit points equal to their intelligence plus half their level when they use a mutagen on themselves. You can drink your versatile vials to remove 1 drawback of your mutagen until the start of your next turn. Toxicologists gain 2 extra formulas for poisons and can apply poisons to weapons as a single action. Additionally, creatures that are immune to poisons, or would otherwise take less damage from poison, instead take acid damage from your poisons. You can also use your versatile vial bombs to deal poison damage, or apply them as injury poisons to your weapon. In conclusion, alchemists have a seemingly endless supply of versatile vials which can be used as bombs, or depending on your research field, elixirs or poisons. Versatile vials can also be converted into regular alchemical items, though need to be used right away. Alchemists also get a limited supply of temporary alchemical items per day, which last until the next day, when they can make more. They can also just craft and use alchemical items they created in downtime like any other character. This video has been brought to you by Player Core 2. Thank you, Paizo, for my complimentary copy.